Thank you very much for this time today. And thank you for inviting me to talk about the state of Uganda's democracy. According to the questions, of course, asked me related to democracy. I'm a political analyst. I do follow politics, both back home and then elsewhere, including Britain here, and then also America, and elsewhere, all countries. I do for politics. And I have specific people I do really follow when it comes to politics. And I've got my model when it comes to politics. There are people who do things right, and I feel, of course, I should be able to emulate what they're doing. And then I wish if this would be taken by the politicians in Africa, more so Uganda, a country which is experiencing now political dilemma. Uganda's problem now is the current president, President Museveni. Is the biggest problem now to the country. Actually, is now a threat to establishment, a threat to democracy, a threat to rule of law. Why? Because he's not willing to give up power. He's not willing to democratically hand over power. Which is the biggest problem. I don't know what you're thinking about, because you can't hold a country for such years and you think things will be good. No, they will never be good. They will get worse. But he still have a choice. The choice is to agree on the basics. Going back and say, you know what? What do Ugandans want? Ugandans want this. Okay, I give it to you. You want democracy? I give it to you. If I've been defeated, yes, I go back home. And then, yeah, I'll be on my farm. He's got a farm. He can be on his farm. And I believe he can be given, he can't be pardoned, where he went wrong, like any other politicians, because things happens on the way. He can be, he can be forgiven. And, yeah, I believe there's this opportunity. But has he got, the advisors, really, the proper advisors to guide him on the proper pathway? The answer is, of course, definitely no. He may have got them, but then he's not using them properly. President Museveni was one of the lovely politicians Africa has ever had. When he came to power in 1986, after overthrowing the dictatorship regimes of Amin and Abare and so forth. And of course, the promises, he had to Ugandans was to reinstate democracy, rule of law, and then also deal with corruption and mismanagement. This was very clear vision, really, for the country, and everyone welcomed that. But mostly was also to ensure that, of course, there is enough security in the country. People are going to enjoy, are going to live in harmony. People are going really to have peace, which people didn't have at that time. You remember what happened? Many people were killed. Massacres were done everywhere. All our brothers and sisters and friends and families, you know, they're all killed during that time. But then it came to reorganize the country, which it did actually, up to around 1996, I think. Then, of course, as you know, that he had battles with friends, you know, of course, you know, who had also hopes, you know, to do something or to benefit somewhere. And of course, you know, they benefited in the country. Definitely did benefit in the country. Yeah. But the one thing he failed is to deal with these people. Okay. To deal with them, because they continued to make the country, yeah, without feeding it. Yeah. They were milking the country without feeding it, which was wrong and which is still wrong. Corruption is the order of the day. And then also, disrespect to the rule of law is the order of the day by people who are close allies to President Museveni. And who is, you know, whom we already know, but is unwilling to deal with them. And the point is, President Museveni needs to recognize that, of course, the world has changed. The world today is not the world of 2000 or 1995, 1996 or 80s. No, it has changed really. People cannot allow them, you know, themselves to be lured by the same person for 30 years. And you cannot really guarantee anyone or promise somebody that, you know what, there are things that you haven't done in the last 30 years and you now want to do them in the next 5 years. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. Even a child can say that. Yeah. Even a child can say that. Definitely. You've got the opportunity. There are young people who are coming up, young people with vision, young people who are coming up, you know, who are really, you know, being exposed, and they think that there are things that they want to read to introduce the country, and they want to see that the country is going forward in a more systematic way. These people are there, and they are ready to take up the power. Give power back to the people. You stay peaceful and you enjoy your retirement. I'm telling you. You'll be given your security, you'll be given everything, you know. Yeah, you'll be forgiven everything, whatever, because you're a human being, meant to do errors. If something went wrong, yeah, you can be forgiven. Yeah? But this is the time for the president and his entire government, of course, to understand that, yeah, it's time. The time is now ripe for the new generation to take up power. Yeah? Take up power. There are people who are willing to come and then rule for one term and then they go. People willing to come and then, you know, stay in power for one term and then go. Or 2 terms and then go maximum. There's a need to revise the constitution. There's a need to respect the human rights. There's a need to follow things in an orderly way. We need proper politics. We need politics which is young, politics which is mature. Democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Where there is free elections and participation of every individual in the country. without repression and without suppression. We need to go back to the roots of democracy. We need to go back to the roots to understand that, yeah, this is now the country, this is how we want it to be. Yeah? I'm telling you, Ugandans, this is what you need to know. Don't be misinformed by cheap politicians, people coming up and then promise you heaven and earth. No. Choose people you see that are going to take the country forward. People who are visioned, people who are knowledgeable, people who have been exposed. Choose these people. Don't choose anyone who has ever been in the government, in the previous government, to ever hold any post in the new government. No. That's not right. Because those people are already infected with corruption, are already infected with the regime problems. So if you bring them back into power, they're going to bring the same mistakes. Yeah? We've got a choice to choose the right person. And the President Museveni should allow this to happen. Should release the prisoners, should release, those who are detained, wrongfully, and then also should be able to allow people to move freely. Of course, those who have been, under house arrest, like Dr. Kizza Besigye, should be released, definitely. He's got a life, he's got his freedom, he should be able to walk free and to go wherever he wants to go. Actually, now his wife here in Oxford, actually, where I live, fortunately, she's my neighbor, but she needs to see her husband more frequently. So, please restore order in the country so that the economy can move freely. We need to see this happening as soon as possible. And in my next episode actually, we'll be talking about the future, where Uganda is going without President Museveni. I'm trying to compare up, things, related to a new country with a new leadership. Thanks very much.